to a lot of these younger guys who are coming in with the prospect?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, it kind of talks about the philosophy that we had talked about during fall camp last year. If you're a guy that's kind of on the fringe and you're looking to make a mark in terms of the defensive depth chart, the offensive depth chart, the beauty of special teams is it's offense and defensive concepts. You just add 30 yards to it. So a guy like DJ, you see him, made a bunch of big time plays right here. It gets his confidence because he gets on the field. He's able to utilize a lot of his playmaking ability. Same thing with Dalton Johnson. And you get to see a bunch of young guys. Genesis Smith has really showed up. Kamu's really showed up. Gavin Hunter showed up. You just start to see these guys make plays in space, and it gives them a lot of confidence and momentum to be able to try and escalate through a depth chart on the other side of the ball, either offense or defense.
So obviously, you're a tight ends coach, but I'm curious what got you into special teams and coaching that.
Special teams to me is just at the end of the day, you get a chance to be able to get the pulse and be able to talk in front of the entire team. The only other guy that gets to do that is Coach Fish. So I think it was always a unique deal to be able to learn the entirety of the team, because I think sometimes as a position coach, you kind of get locked in and dialed into your position group and you're cordial and you get to know guys, but I get to know them on a personal level now, and I get to meet with them about a variety of different things because of special teams. So I think that's kind of the beauty of it is you're able to get amongst the entire team and have really, really dope relationships with defensive guys, not just offensive guys and not just tight ends.
You've seen different guys give reps with kick return, punt return. How do you think they work out there?
I think all those guys have done a tremendous job. I think Jacob Cowan's done a remarkable job in terms of making new steps and really dialing into the technique that we're asking him to do. I think IT has done fantastic, just very natural in terms of tracking the ball on punt return. And then guys like G7, I think he shows up as dynamic. He broke one today with the 2 rep. I thought that was awesome to be able to see him do his thing on kickoff return. But just being able to see the skill set of all these guys and what they can contribute. And again, I think spring ball is fantastic for just trying different people and seeing what role they can ultimately live up to, and then how we continue to change and push it so there's constant competition is what we're trying to achieve.
What's the overall philosophy with punt returns changed over the years?
Well, I think it's usually what you've traditionally seen is a lot of guys have gone from a hold-up look, just really return mindset to, I think last year, we were making weekly cut-ups, and I want to say there was almost 20 to 30 block kicks a week. So it's just everybody being a lot more aggressive. Obviously, you have to play the game within the game. But I think that's what I've kind of seen just in terms of overall philosophies. I think people just in general are a lot more aggressive. So being able to make sure that we're ready for both and that we have some contingency plans and just continue to work, because we're going to see both from a variety of the quality. We had a lot of quality special teams coordinators in the past. So being able to see a variety of different looks is ultimately the biggest challenge for us on a daily basis.
How do you think the offense did in the red zone last year? What's your evaluation of your unit in the red area?
Well, I think in the red zone, obviously that's going to be a focal point again. And every single year, we're going to make sure that we put some added emphasis. The biggest jump, I think, in the red zone last year was just creating longer bodies, to be able to be bigger targets. But I think one of the things that you continue to see with the progression of the running backs is being able to run the ball down there as well. Not just throwing the ball into the end zone, but having the ability to give Mike Wiley and Jonah Coleman and DJ, a lot of those guys, touches when people try and take that away. So I think it's, being multifaceted. And to me is, for my position specifically, is making sure we can break tackles. Is making sure if we get a short contested catch to where you're not moving. I think Tanner's against Colorado down here on the sideline, that crossing route is fantastic. If you can get yourself an opportunity, catch the ball, make the routine play, and then break one, that's what you want to see, and that's what we're continuing to emphasize moving forward.
What have you seen from Tyler Luke so far, and is it concerning for you that he hasn't attempted 50-yarder yet?
I think at the end of the day, where we've really focused is all of his misses were 40-plus yards. So I think being able to put some pressure on him like we did today at practice for conditioning, where all the guys were there, anything that we can make sure that we're addressing the issues that he has. I mean, he's made as the other day, obviously he was off a stick, so it's a little bit of fantasy land, but he made a 68-yarder. Oh, wow. So there's leg behind there, but we just want to make sure that while we're balancing and trying to test out how far we can hit it, we got to make sure we're more consistent on the looks and the kicks that Coach Fish is going to ask us to be able to go operate on. So really an emphasis in the 40-plus range, but making sure that we don't lose sight of the routine kicks that he was fantastic at. Has been 100% everything inside 40 in his career.
And then Tanner is back. I know he missed a few practices, but how important was that for the other guys to get those first reps?
I think it's crucial. I think it's absolutely crucial is making sure that, you know, there really isn't ones and twos. You know, it really is a lot of the time making sure that you get as guys like Tyler Powell and guys like Key and guys like Berto reps with the ones. To be able to see how they communicate, how they operate within that team setting. But I think anytime you're working in between ones and twos and you have a couple different guys that can do that, I think that's a fantastic thing for depth.
All right. Thank you.